Hi, I'm Jade Stark, and this is What Function Are You Anyway? I didn't use the fountain in this hallway. What function are you anyway? There will be a video, a table, a graph, or several graphs, and regression analysis, and then following that, there should be a summary. And then here's the wonderful video. Water fountain, doo-doo! And then the graph, and then another graph, another graph, and another graph, and yet another graph. And now that you have seen that wonderful video, here is the water fountain arc table, and that is when you were watching the video, you saw the water go up and then down in the parabola shape, and then you saw the little dots. Well, the little dots are on this screen now, but they're in numbers instead of dots. So these are the points that were on the water that are now on a beautiful table. And this is the same data on a graph for you to see, and the x's mark the data points. And notice how there is a line that is not straight but matches the same. It curves, and what that means is it's a quadratic line. Whereas if it were just a linear line, it would just go straight through. But it is not, because it's just not, it just can't be what you're not. Okay, so the equation for this is y equals negative 0.038 x squared 2 plus 2.665x plus 8.422. And the most important thing for you to remember right now is r square root 2 equals, this is what it equals, 0.984. And it's important to remember because since r squared is 0.984, the coefficient of determination is a 98% match. And because the stream of water from the fountain is a parabola, it makes it a quadratic. This is a very strong match as it's 98%. But if it would have been like 40%, then it would have been a really weak match. So the closer you can get to 100, the better off you are. Like if you're taking a test and you get a 37, you're gonna be really upset and you're not gonna be happy. But if you get a 100%, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I couldn't have possibly done better. I am wonderful. And so that's basically how you think of it. So yeah, 90% is pretty good. And then the parabola opens downward, and so that makes it a negative. If it opens at the highest point, or it opens at the highest point when the water goes up into the, I was going to say sky, but it's not the sky. Anyway, the difference between a positive and negative parabola is this. On the top part, you see a blue parabola, and it goes from the top and then down and then up. And you know that ours is not like that, because water does not go from the top and then down and then up because, well, gravity, that's why. But instead, it looks a lot more like the red graph, and that's negative, and it's negative because it starts from the bottom and then it goes up and then it has to go back down. And so what I think about this is, I think of it as kind of like a wine glass. A wine glass, when it's facing when it's right side up, has the wine in it, and the wine's not spilling because it's facing the right side up towards the sky. But when you have it put away, or if someone spills your wine glass, or a little kid just decides to, I'm going to pick this up and turn it over, all your wine's going to spill all over the carpet. And you're not going to be happy, and you're going to be left in a negative. You're going to have a negative experience with this wine glass. And so the upside down one is the negative, and the right side up one is positive. So there. And our summary is, I picked to record a water fountain because I knew I wanted to do a video, but I didn't want to throw a ball or dance. And I thought of a water fountain because, I don't know, it's just the first thing I thought of. besides, because at first I thought, okay, I could throw a ball. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And I could dance. Oh, I'm not good at dancing. Oh, water fountain. That makes a parabola. Perfect. So that's why I picked that. And then using the iPad, I recorded the water fountain video and I measured the lockers in the background so the app could have some sort of scale to refer to. I learned how to use the snipping tool, how to get a video on a presentation, how to screencast like I'm doing right now, and of course I learned some math too. I learned how to tell if a parabola is positive or negative, and I learned how to get the equation for my graph. I also learned how to make a chart and a graph in Google Sheets, and that is wonderful. I learned so much from this project, and that's amazing. I don't think I've ever learned so much about I don't think I've ever learned so much just from one project. And so that's really wonderful. But I did have a couple of problems along the way, but they were kind of smallish problems. I don't know, maybe they were kind of big, but anyway. They were more of like, oh, how do I do that? Or how do I do this? Like I said, of course I'm going to have problems because I had to learn a lot. And so my problems were like putting a video in my presentation, or how to use the snipping tool, or how to do a screencast, which of course you can see that I figured out. And throughout the making of this project, I've definitely improved in understanding lines, of regression, and telling the difference between quadratic and linear lines. And then I had one citation because I had to look up the difference between a positive and a negative parabola. And so there it is. There's my beautiful citation. And then, of course, mathematics is the music of reason. Could not be spoken truer. By James Joseph Sylvester. And that is the end of my project. Thank you for watching.